How you doing, everybody? This is Jay Nanda of Alamo True Metal here on a special Saturday evening in downtown San Antonio, an NCAA Final Four weekend right down the street at the Alamo Dome. But first order of business tonight is an incredible concert going on, the Michael Schenker Fest, and his Final Four version of vocalists, and I have the pleasure of being here with one of them right now, Mr. Doogie White. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
Very pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Been enjoying your work for many years.
Okay.
And of course, Doogie has been with Michael Schenker, whether it's been the Temple of Rock or the new Michael Schenker Fest for the last several years. The Schenker Fest just released Resurrection, a new album that came out 4 weeks ago on March 2nd. 12 great songs. A couple of them feature all the vocalists, Doogie as well as Robin McCauley, Graham Bonnet, and Gary Barden. But of course, you also have your own songs on there.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I think my favorite, we've already talked to the other vocalists, so I can confess now that I think my favorite song on that album is Take Me to the Church, which is one of your singles.
Yeah.
What was this experience like for you, coming from the Temple of Rock and now joining with all the singers as well as Michael?
We kind of did the last Temple of Rock show in Scandinavia, and Michael said that, you know, we're going to do something different now. We need to take a break from Temple of Rock, because we had done, in 5 years we had done 2 albums and 2 DVDs, and we toured everywhere extensively. So we really needed to give ourselves a break, the audience a break, and the record company a break, you know. So, and the promoters, and so he came up with this brilliant idea. But I wasn't involved at the beginning, you know. He brought in Gary and Graham and Robin, and so I just watched it kind of develop, and I never saw any of the shows, and I never saw any of the DVDs. And then Michael contacted me and said, "I'm going to do a Michael Schenker Fest album. Do you fancy being involved?" I said, "Of course." So within a day or two, I had 5 or 6 different ideas sent through to me from Michael Voss and Michael Schenker from the studio. So I immediately got to work on them, and I worked on probably 5 or 6 of them, and just sent the ideas back and said, "Well, look, what do you think?" And Michael said, "Oh, you can't do 5 songs. You can pick 3." So I just picked 3 that I thought that I could work well with. Take Me to the Church was one of them, and The Girl with the Stars in Her Eyes and Anchors Away. So I just concentrated on working on those 3, and then the plane tickets were in, and I flew over to Germany to start recording.
Yeah, I love when you sing "Wanna Walk a Mile in My Shoes."
Yeah.
I'm going to be singing that a lot tonight with you. So, what was it like teaming up with the other guys? How much of a history do you have with Robin, Graham, and Gary?
Well, I'd never met Robin before, and to be honest, I didn't really know much about him other than the Far Corporation and the Macaulay Schenker stuff that he'd done. But I don't know any of the Macaulay Schenker's material. Gary, I loved Gary's voice from when I was a wee boy, when I first heard them do Lost Horizons on the first Schenker album, MSG album. I thought that was brilliant, and I've known Graham since the first time I heard Graham sing was the 4th of August 1979 at Nebworth Park. I was watching Led Zeppelin, and they played a new track from the new Rainbow album, and it was great. And Graham, and I've done several tours of Japan and Europe with Graham in the past, so we're all buddies now. Yeah. You know, so and I mean, it's amazing for me to have grown up listening to these guys. You know, Chris Glenn and McKenna with the sensational Alex Harvey Band, and Rory Gallagher and Gillan, obviously. You know, to actually be sharing a stage with them and to be trading licks with them, it's just fantastic. I mean, it's a dream come true for me.
Yes. I was checking out your website. Of course, Doogie spent time in Richie Blackmore's Rainbow as well, and I wanted to ask you if you had a famous story or favorite memory from your time in that band.
Well, with Rainbow, it was. I mean, you're going back a few years now. I mean, it's a long time ago. Richie took a chance on me, and it was, and that was brave of him. But that seems to have been his way of working for years. I mean, David Coverdale was completely unknown. He was selling bell-bottom trousers and frilly shirts in Redcar. The same to some extent with Graham. The same to some extent with Joe. You know, and also with Ronnie Romero now. So I mean, it was a great time for me, because Richie was my favourite guitar player. Deep Purple are my favourite band. You know, and all the offshoots, Whitesnake, Killing Rainbow, Pace Action Lord. So to get up and to sing those songs and to know them better than he did, that was great fun as well. So that was 3.5 years of joy for me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I think I read on your website that...
The website hasn't been updated for about 10 years. Right?
But it does have a question from the past that I want to ask.
Go on.
That apparently you played a show, I think Knebworth or London, if I'm not... Hammersmith, it might have been?
Yeah.
And you told the crowd that the last time you had been at that venue while you were singing was to sell hot dogs.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
what happened, you know, I was an unemployed musician, and there was many of us unemployed musicians. We were all playing in bands, but we weren't earning any money. We were playing the marquee once a month, but you weren't earning any money. So you claimed unemployment benefit, and every 6 months they called you in for something called Restart. And they would bring you in, so I went in with my box of cassette tapes, saying, I'm a songwriter. And the woman looked at me and said, you're not a very successful one. I said, okay. I want a job in the entertainment industry.
Sure.
So she said, well, there's a hot dog job going down at the Hammersmith Apollo or Odeon. So I had to go down there and I worked for about 3 months there. Mostly on Asian film nights, which were massive. We show Indian films and all these beautifully dressed Indian people would come in and I served popcorn, hot dogs, Coca-Cola, or boxing nights. You know, that's mostly what I did. And I actually stopped when I went to see Mr. Big. I worked at Mr. Big concert, and the rock press from Kerrang and Metal Hammer and things all bought popcorn for me, and then went and stood up in the balcony and threw popcorn and ice cubes at me. So, but that was true. You know, I went from being a popcorn salesman at the Hammersmith Odeon to headlining 2 nights, which was great.
That's a great story. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your time in Yngwie Malmsteen. That's pretty much my intro to you before I checked out your older material.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of CDs right here that Doogie appeared on as Yngwie's vocalist. Attack in 2002, of course, and then one of his best albums ever was Unleash the Fury, in my opinion, in 2005. So many great songs. I love Stronghold from Attack, but The Boogeyman and just all kinds of stuff locked and loaded here on this album. How would you characterize your time with Yngwie?
I had a great time with Yngwie. When you work with artists of Richie, Michael, or Yngwie's stature, you go in and you have to know what you're signing up for, and you have to know what's expected of you and what to expect. With Yngwie, I knew I was going in just to sing. There was going to be no writing, so it wasn't really an issue for me. I just went in and did the best that I could. We toured the world for, I think, 6 years. We did the 2 albums. We had a great time, and then it just came to its natural end. What he seems to do, I'm going to go in a different musical direction, and I don't think you'd like it. And then you know, you call it quits. And he got Ripper in, and Ripper was with him for a while, and now I believe that he's doing his vocals all himself.
Yeah.
You know, so, and he's got a continuing audience because he's an astonishing guitar player.
Yeah.
It's too fast for my ears to pick up, but I love to watch him.
Yeah.
You know, I love to watch him play, and we had some great times together. I mean, we do it because it's fun, and because it's enjoyable, and because we're very, very lucky and charmed to be allowed to do such a thing. You know, there are millions of people out there who are probably better than me or better than a lot of the other people that are around, but you take your chances and you take your breaks. And you work hard, you know, and you don't get the first groupie that comes with you pregnant, you know, and you know, a pram in the hallway is never a substitute for a Marshall cabinet, you know. So I always followed my vision of wanting to sing with Richie, and you know, when I did that, that was like going to the moon. Where do you go after that? That's all I wanted to do from when I was 15. And I did it. What do? Well, you end up working with Yngwie Malmsteen. And then you end up writing and creating fantastic music with Michael Schenker. So it's been a wonderful experience for me. I've had such a charmed rock and roll life, and I love it. You know, sorry about big growling.
That's all right.
I'm loaded with whatever it is that's going around. It's air conditioning.
There's a lot of pollen in the air here in San Antonio, a lot of cedar. So that begs the question: if Yngwie were to ever do what Michael is doing and reconnect for a tour or an album with all of his previous singers, first of all, it would be a lot more than Michael has had. But would you ever take part in that with Yngwie if he were to do that?
Well, you know, you never say never. I mean, Sean Connery said he would never do Bond again, and he did. So I never say never to anything, because you don't know what your circumstances are going to be. You just have to, you go with the flow, you know, and sometimes things work out for you and sometimes they don't. Generally, I'm very happy with working with Michael. It's great, you know, we have a great time together, and generally I'm very happy with what I do in rock and roll. You know, we come out, we do a tour, I go back, I go out and do some solo shows. I like to work. I enjoy the creative process, and I enjoy the performing. The travelling is taking a wee bit of a strain on me this time.
Sure, of course.
But other than that, with 3 more shows, I won't die, you know, and I'll fight through it.
Yeah. Well, as you can hear, they're warming up for a very special concert tonight. Oh, at least 2.5 hours. Michael spoke to him a moment ago. He said it might be 3 hours. The Michael Schenker Fest happening tonight with 4 vocalists. Doogie White right here, along with Robin McCauley, Gary Barton, and Graham Bonnet. They go on at 9 p.m. tonight. The Michael Schenker Fest playing throughout Michael's career. So that leads me to wrap up the fact that Michael's got several DVDs out, that Doogie has been on here, the Temple of Rock one, live in Europe.
Yeah, that live in Europe one there, we did 13 shows in 14 days, and we recorded the last show for that one.
Very good. And then we have
the Spirit on a Mission.
You're on that one, Spirit on a Mission.
Well, I edited that.
In Spain.
I edited that visually. I edited that. So if you have any complaints about not seeing Michael solos,
there you go.
I'm your man.
Yes. And then the latest one recorded in Tokyo is the guys that are going to be on stage tonight. You were not on this one, apparently.
No,
it was recorded in Tokyo, but the other 3 vocalists, Gary, Robin, and Graham, are on this, the Michael Schenker Fest. Last question, Doogie, how much of a joy do you get singing the Scorpions and UFO material as well?
Well, I don't do any Scorpions songs. We only do one instrumental.
Oh, with Temple of Rock you did, right?
With Temple of Rock. Yeah, I mean, I love singing the UFO stuff. I never really get into the Scorpions because there was nothing I could learn from Klaus, because it was accented English. You know, I understand people love them. It was never a band that crossed my path, really. In the same way that Rush. I mean, my friends all loved Rush. I couldn't learn from Geddy Lee. I couldn't do what he does. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, so but the UFO songs, they are comfortable old shoes because I grew up with them. You know, and everybody knew them and everybody loved them. So we just did it, and I sing a couple tonight, and we share a couple tonight, and it's great fun.
Awesome.
You know.
Yes. Well, Doogie, I can't thank you enough. We're going to let you get some rest.
And this is a great place. We had the best gig of the tour last year here.
Yes.
But next door in the small hall.
Yes, it was fantastic seeing you. I was talking with Michael about how much of a fixture he has been, and you guys have been lately to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to throw a bug in his ear. The next DVD, feel free to record it here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
We would love to have you. So, Doogie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We will see you at the show tonight. For Doogie White, this is Jay Nanda of Alamo True Metal, reminding you, don't hang them out to dry. Hold them up high.